What's going on? What is going on? Give you guys some time to get in here. Yes, sir. Let's see. Hopefully, we're all having a decent Saturday. Hopefully, everybody's doing good. You know? Give you guys some time to come in here. And while we're doing that, hold on a second. Getting stuff ready. Spaghetti. Give me 1 second, but like, I don't know. It's been a crazy fucking week. It's been a week. Like the beginning of this week, like I guess life let me know this was not your week at all today or this week any fucking way because it's like too much has been happening. Way too much. Way too much. Like I want to say mentally lots been going down. But to the one person here, I'm gonna talk about a video that was recently released or like some shit that just went down not too long ago. Sorry for the background noise. But apparently a teacher got fired for letting students like braid his hair or some shit. Very very interesting, I would say. But it's like I've been looking at it, like I've only had like a short amount of time to look at it. But a lot of mixed emotions about it, according to like everybody else that's been like, fucking looking at it. People are saying that he's wrong for having it happen. Um some people is like he didn't do nothing wrong. But at the end of the day, the nigga lost his job. And I don't think that was right. I really don't. Shit. We gonna let a couple more people get in here. Man. Yeah. Shit's crazy, bro. And me, like, being a teacher at, like, an, private school or whatever, like, for me, I come from a place where kids don't necessarily know, um, or understand the term boundaries. So they walk up to you and they want to do, um, the most, like touch on you and stuff. Like I have it happen every day. Like kids get out of their seats, but that's because I work for I work for a school that is built around um, rehabilitating kids, meaning like reintegrating them back into society, aka dealing with special needs kids and kids with behavior issues. And like most of these kids, they understand and they talk well, and like they know how to communicate, but like there's some things that they fall short on, whether it's like fucking whether it's like fucking what understand the boundaries or like doing shit. Thank you. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. I'm gonna play some Tekken while I wait because I got the video and everything. So, okay, we got some people coming in. Bird and Fluff is here. Shout out to them. But yeah, it struck a chord, and like my homie Bird, he hit me up. He hit me up saying like, bro, you should talk about this on stream today. And I'm like, oh, word. He's like, yeah. And then I looked into it, and I was like, that's interesting, and it's starting to gain traction. So I'm gonna fuck around on this a little bit, and then I'm gonna probably play the video for the folks that are here. Let me know if you're here. Say hey, do something, say something, cause this is what it's gonna be. It's gonna be Tekken while we do this shit. Let's see, controller setup. The buttons are set up exactly how they need to be set up. Cool. Play that Not Like Us. Bro, it's the #1 trending song, but what's going on, bro? Have you heard about that shit with the teacher? Like him getting fired for getting his hair braided and shit? Have you heard about that? It's fairly new. It's fairly fucking new. You said that was wild. Bro, honestly, what are your thoughts on it? Like, what are your thoughts on it? Like, I want to know. Yeah, I was on Twitter when I heard about it. Yeah, bro. The man lost his job. He lost his job. Real talk, gotta keep kids' hands off you because of political. You know what? Yeah, I would say, like, honestly, in a normal school setting, I'd say in a school setting where, like, kids are expected to be doing nothing else but, you know, school shit, yes. But in my case where you got kids that like touching you and stuff, because I work for that type of place, with kids that like, have behavior issues or special needs, it can't be avoided. Like, there's a time and place for everything, and like, everybody always has something to say about it or what's going on with it. Remember when we had Mr. Alphonse, soccer coach, and remember all them chicks were over? Yeah, yeah, I remember that. It's political shit at the end of the day, though. But like, if you're working in my field where like, oh my god, well, where you're like, working with kids who don't know what that necessarily means, you know, there's a time and place. You don't do that shit in public school. At least I don't think. You'll get too much you'll get too much heat for it. She's grabbing a lot. Okay. Nope. Ah, she's setting me up for the same shit. Okay. It's social cues. My stepson is like that. Yeah, and some kids don't have social cues, bro. They don't have them. That's why you teach them. So this controller is doing a lot, and it's not doing what I want it to. Oh boy. Remesh that shit. But yeah, bro, it's like, yeah, the disability thing is one thing because they get, yeah, exactly, exactly. This isn't my system, by the way. Come on. Nice. What's up? Well, like him, they working. I'm gonna read that in a minute. Yeah, yeah. And like they're like, yeah, like you're supposed to like be working. But here's the thing though. It was at the end of the day, from what I'm understanding. Like, is it wrong then at that point or what? Like, if you got the academics out the way, like, I don't know. But it's like you said, it's like physical boundaries and shit. And it's a sticky situation. Like, I can see that not working well with like, you know, some parents or whatever. Whatever, she got it. Don't care. In the video he was working. Yeah. I could play that video right now, actually. Shit, let's play it.
Let's go ahead and stir the pot a little, shall we? Last Friday, 10 minutes before dismissal time, I decided to live stream my students helping me take my hair out. There was quite the discourse in the chat, which had people saying this was inappropriate, and other people saying this was completely fine, there was nothing wrong with what I was doing, and people were just making it weird. So of course I had to bring this issue to the big stage. I would like to represent myself in this case, Your Honor, if I may. Number one, for a little context, I had a hair appointment immediately after school, and I needed my hair taken out beforehand. I would have taken it out the night before, but that Friday we had a camera crew coming in to shoot a promotional video, and I was one of the ones being interviewed. So I had to look presentable, so I didn't take my hair out. I didn't have the time to do it all myself, because it would have taken me forever. So naturally I asked about 4 or 5 of my over 100 best friends to assist me in taking my hair out, and they all agreed. Number two, this was at the end of class. This week we were doing STEM fair presentations. Since it was Friday and all of my students did an excellent job on their STEM fair projects and presentations, I told them if we get one solid presentation in this class, I'll end class a little early and they can have fun, play basketball, darts, or be on their phones or whatever. And during that time, my team would help me take my hair out. A couple of these were students from my class, but others were students from other classes. I would always run the task at the beginning of the class period, requesting their assistance 10 minutes before dismissal. I told the teachers only send them if all of their work was completed and they had good behavior. They all met the criteria, so 10 minutes before dismissal, they showed up for the job. My next point I like to make is if I was a female teacher,
That
those
train of
people
thought
would
about
leave
it, so it was
comments saying,
already a
oh, this
team.
is weird, this is inappropriate. Because me personally, I don't think there's anything weird about this. People saying, oh, that's too intimate. To me, it's literally just hair.
It's fucking
It
Lawrence,
doesn't have
bro.
to be weird. Some people have never had cool teachers, and it shows. I personally believe that
Choice.
building authentic relationships with students is paramount in being an effective teacher. I make sure my students know and can feel that I care about them beyond the schoolwork and all the stuff that I have to make them do. I take the time to get to know my students outside of academics because caring for the whole child is what's important. Some of these students have been with me since I was a substitute 4 years ago. They see me as a big brother or a father figure, as some of them say. And me, I don't want kids of my own, so all of these kids are literally my children. And in case you're wondering about their parents, most of them follow me on social media and always talk about my videos with their kids. They always tell me that they're so grateful that their kids have someone like me in their life. In my admin, they're well aware of my social media presence and they love my videos. To me, this is just another wholesome moment that I'm having with my kids that I was fortunate enough to catch on film. Since I'm a science teacher, one thing that I teach my students about is symbiosis. Symbiosis deals with the relationships between
And this is towards
organisms.
the end of the
The
day,
type of
right?
relationship that I
Yeah.
like to foster in my
Yeah,
class is
I don't,
mutualism,
I don't
or
know.
mutualistic
Like,
relationship, which means both organisms benefit from the exchange. So when my students have good behavior, complete all their assignments, and do everything that a scholar is supposed to do, I reward them with downtime and just time to just be a kid, be on their phones, play games, gossip, so on and so forth. My students and I work hard and we play harder. I'm fortunate enough to have students that feel safe and comfortable around me, safe to come to me with their problems, their frustrations. They come to me seeking guidance and wisdom, or come to me simply to chill and hang out because they know that they have a safe space to be themselves around me. What I strive to do as an educator is be the teacher I wish I had grown up. I strive to be the teacher that makes my inner child happy, someone that my inner child would be proud of. I want to be the teacher that my students reflect back on 20, 30 years down the line and think like, dang, that teacher I had in middle school, he was the shit. No further questions, Your Honor. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. You think this was inappropriate or people are making something out of nothing? And although you are entitled to your opinion, all I ask is that you be respectful. Thank you.
My thing with that is rewarding them by taking out his hair is what the rest of us is gonna have a problem with. I don't think he rewarded them with taking down his hair. I think they volunteered to take his hair down. So I think we shouldn't like make those kinds of assumptions. Cause it's not like they was like, oh, can I? It's like, oh, take down my hair. Okay, we'll take down your fucking hair. No.
right. Like, it wasn't offered. They decided to do it. And from what I'm hearing is that the man, they already knew he had a haircut appointment or a hair doing session or whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's not like he told them to fucking do it. It'd be different if he actually did then, because at that point, it's different. You know, that's grounds for, okay, what are you doing? You weird ass nigga. Like, what's going on here? But they offered, and he should have just fucking took it. Well, he should have just declined it. How did they find out? By him speaking on it. He spoke on it, right? He had to have spoken on it.
Why you think the video's there?
Yeah. No, I mean like he avidly told them that he had a haircut appointment, which is why they ended up doing that for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I guess he was also saying that with them,
Start blocking this niggas.
they apparently he had an interview for a higher position in the same school, and that would require him to get. I guess it was gonna have him get his hair done or some shit like that. But I still don't. I still don't think that should be grounds for termination. But all the cool teachers get that kind of treatment regardless. Whether it's like, oh, I just took them home because they were stranded outside. No, you're not supposed to do that. But yeah. Yeah, they offered. But he didn't tell them to do it. Well, he didn't say, hey, one of y'all take down my hair. That's the point I'm making.
Oh my fucking god. Anyway, I'm finna stop playing this in a minute so I can focus on this. But like I said, you work for CPS, right, Bert?
Yep.
So it's like he works for CPS, I do not. Meaning I'm working in a whole different spectrum of kids. I'm working with kids that get fucking tossed out from public schools. So it's like, you know, there's a time and place for all this. That's why it's kind of like, you know, sticky or like, you know, iffy. Because motherfuckers do be right. But at the same time, there's a certain situation for this shit. I don't think there's no wrong or right answer to it. And that's why the reason why I'm saying that is because of what I do. You know what I mean?
Ah, I see. Apparently, the parents in the school was okay with the whole thing.
Facts.
So
but not everybody else was.
But at the same time, my thing is if the parents were okay with it, why does everybody else have to have an opinion on it? Like, of course, you and everybody don't do everybody or do things with everybody else's kids, which that should already be established.
That's some bullshit. Take this from me. It's how the rest of the country and white folks in the news are gonna make it. The community wouldn't care and see it. That's cool, but the media is what blows things out. And you know what's hilarious about that? People want to point fingers and ostracize people who are just doing their jobs, but they don't really want to look at the people who are actually doing these things. Say, for instance, like politicians. Say, for instance, like celebrities. Say, for instance, like what? Yeah. Your public figures and your what have yous. It's always the little guy that always gets fucking accused or gets slapped on the wrist for like doing things like this, and like it's harmless. But you got celebs and people and politicians and people in power doing these types of things, and it's just like nobody bats an eye for them. And that's my problem with this shit. A lot of the little guys get punished for harmless things, and like a lot of people who are higher up than the little guys always get slaps on the wrist for these types of things. And dude lost his job, so it's like top dogs are doing the shit that people who aren't actually doing that get wrecked. Yeah, exactly. And we see it all the time. And it's like, it's literally like the subtle saying of, I got the power and I can do what I want and you can't. But like this shit right here, bro, honestly, I think people blew it out of proportion. At least I think. I don't think it should have been viewed the way it was viewed. You know what I mean? He gonna sue the school. He should. He didn't do anything wrong. And what's also gonna make him look better is if the kids speak out.
But they're not gonna listen to the kids though.
They're not. They never.
They will never
to
listen to the kids, but they will do. They always do something about it. Do something about it with the kids with other things. But when it comes to speaking out about something, or them liking another teacher, or them respecting another teacher and want their teacher to stay there, they will never listen to the kids.
And the kids are like the truth tellers, bro. So it's like, I don't know. I hope he gets his fucking job back, or I hope he makes money off this. Cause why fuck with the band's? Why fuck with the man's livelihood? Then again, though, I also feel like him doing that, which is weird too. He was working. He was working the whole time. He wasn't idle. I guess people saw that and was just like, who does this nigga think he is? Or like, he put these girls up to this, or blah, blah, blah. But the man was working. Yeah. In the video, he's working. He's not doing anything wrong. They volunteered to do shit. Once again, I definitely think that, like, you know, it's how people paint this shit. And somebody saw it and snitched, I'm sure. I'm sure. Like, people was just like, yeah, we not fucking with that. The information on the screen could be personal academics. True. I'm gonna get my run back in this, by the way. I got hold twice online. I can't fucking sit here and say not supposed to be seen by students and shit. Fair. Me personally, I can't sit here and say that I don't necessarily have a stance on it, because I work in a particular area of school shit, and I don't work for public schools. I don't. If I was working for public schools, I'd have been like, okay, maybe that's a little sensitive, you know? Maybe. And like you said, I would have said that just to like keep the, you know, political standpoint on it, so nobody else would like blow the whistle on me for like some potentially weird shit going on when there's no weird shit going on. So it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just tired of little people like this, or the little guys, quote unquote, the little guys getting picked on for shit like this, and they're not doing anything wrong. They're avidly working. Bottom line is you gotta look out for yourself. Yep. That's what this seems like. He was probably a cool teacher, and they was probably waiting on him to fuck up, or like looking for something to get him on.
Because you know, a lot of teachers, they all are always in constant competition with other teachers about who does what of a good job. And I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking from legit experience. I've been in the education system since 2009, since I graduated out of high school. Mentorships, running programs since 2015, running STEM instructor project, you know, all this type of shit.
Like he said, and him doing this is not that. You could probably argue that he was a little careless. You could argue that.
Stop fucking playing with me, bitch.
You could argue that. Too comfortable. Fair. Wow. That was bullshit. I got my ass beat trying to talk on stream and shit.
But the difference is, what is too comfortable?
Yeah, what is that? Like, what is that? Well, we know what that looks like. But the nigga was working. So can we say that he was actually too comfortable? You letting kids put their hands on you. that aren't yours.
Okay, so I got a question then.
I'm finna play the video again.
So I got a question then. So you have kids that you know what? No matter how many ways I slice it, y'all not gonna see the point. So I'm just gonna
In a country that's dealing with massive pedophilia. Hold on. In a country that is still putting racism in the limelight instead of focusing on the underground pedophilia that's happening. Just saying. Just saying. Like, as you just seen, they fired this man for nothing. But I guarantee you, all in the same breath, some celebrity or some police officer, some politician, probably putting their hands on kids now and letting kids touch them way worse than that. And that's not being broadcasted. But this sets shit ablaze.
And I don't like the way y'all keep doing this. Oh, well, you know, it's a school of this. It's not a school of that. And it's just like, bro, you know what type of shit kids be doing in school nowadays?
Bro.
I don't think people truly understand what some of these kids be doing in these schools nowadays.
You gotta watch them, bro. There's some kids.
Some of y'all better be grateful that some of these kids is doing nothing but just talking to their friends and taking down their fucking teacher's hair. You better be like they doing that.
Yeah. They could be doing a whole lot worse, and
you got kids smoking weed in bathrooms now, sucking dick in the bathroom now.
And I come from a work environment where kids have been caught doing shit.
Some very messed up things. And when you create it is very important to create. I gotta put this down. It's very important to create a bond and a relationship with a lot of these kids, because a lot of these kids don't have parents at home. They don't have a relationship with their parents. So y'all limit it to like, oh, he shouldn't have let them girls take down his hair. So if he was a gay man, would we have this same problem?
True.
And another thing, when people like, well, you got women on TikTok getting comments saying, yeah, this is great, do it, queen, blah blah blah, and then we like, well, y'all not calling that inappropriate, and then y'all talking about some, well, it's inappropriate in general. Okay, cool. So if it's inappropriate in general, where's the smoke for the women? Where's the smoke for these other teachers that are getting their hair done, getting their hair cut by their students? Y'all, and I feel like y'all doing that shit because the teacher is a straight male.
Could be.
Like, y'all can slice however many ways, like it's inappropriate. That's cool, but some of y'all parents are not even involved in the kids' school. And some of y'all didn't have that type of relationship with y'all teacher. Y'all didn't want to form a bond with y'all. Y'all didn't want to do shit in school, but cause problems.
It could be because he's a man and he's black.
And the man with the integrity that wants to do more with the already system of schools where people don't even care for the ones at the bottom. So I feel like people don't want to have these conversations about that. Like, okay, yes, he got his hair taken down. What else? What else could they be doing? Well, they could be doing something. Well, it's 10 minutes before they leave school. What more work they gonna do?
Bruh,
nah, like, if I brought my PlayStation 5 in the class, we all playing FIFA or some shit. Y'all gonna get mad and say it's inappropriate? We shouldn't be playing games in school.
Yep.
If I'm playing basketball and football with the kids, or not, when they getting tackled, we tackle football. Oh, we shouldn't be doing that with the kids. Because at that point, I got questions for people that think that was our generation. Well, cool. Guess what? After the pandemic, all that shit that talking about, oh, this education shit, it's a whole different ball game now. We can't keep doing the same shit that happened before 2020.
The educational field is constantly changing.
The education system in 2024 is in a different environment now, and I wish people kind of see it that way. Like, we're not no stern-nosed teacher that's sitting in the classroom saying don't talk.
I personally think that the shit with the pandemic altered a lot of people, altered a lot of kids too. Right when they was getting into the school system too.
Because now you have a lot of kids that don't have fathers in the home. So they don't even know what it's like to have a father figure or a male role model. You have the mothers raising the sons and the mother raising the daughters. So when you have a male that is like, hey, I can sit and listen to these children, whether they are a fucking boy or a girl. It don't matter if they're a boy or a girl. Hey, I can talk to them. I can relate to them. We can all have creative discussions about things that they're possibly going through and help them get through certain things.
Yep.
And, y'all don't have to limit it to, y'all shouldn't be talking about boys and all that shit. The conversation gonna come up anyway, because once you get into middle school, that's all they gonna talk about. And all we tell them is, please be focused. Don't worry about them, because once you graduate here, this is what's gonna happen.
Yep.
So it's like essentially what a lot of people are saying is we can't do nothing but just be robots to these kids. And we already know that nowadays kids, they don't want to sit down and just do nothing and do paperwork all day. You have to find a way to bond with these kids so that they'll be more receptive to retaining the information that is given to them.
Exactly.
Building relationships is very important in school.
And sometimes being cold to kids don't work.
You trying to be this big Billy badass to these kids, and guess what?
What I'm saying is that our generation was the one who had those issues bringing things to school, not these kids.
That's fine. No, and you're absolutely right. I'm not arguing with you or anything. Techniques. I'm just building upon it, and I'm also speaking, and I'm speaking on my own experiences as well. As a child that didn't give a fuck about school, as a child that failed almost every class, a child that wanted every teacher that was in classroom to actually relate and understand what he's going through.
Because it was hard to get us to focus,
especially us that's very fidgety.
Yeah, it was hard to get people to focus. Like, you can fucking pay me to pay attention in math. I fucking hated it back in high school. Absolutely didn't fucking want to deal with it. And it's not like the teachers made it fun to learn, because they didn't. So it's like, I'm sitting here bored as fuck, not being stimulated enough, and
just sit down and do this paperwork and go home. Leave me the fuck alone. It's like, y'all can't talk. And then another thing, a lot of these parents, we had that fucking cracker.
He did have a cracker though, Zagorski ass.
Right, and the problem with a lot of this shit now is that not enough parents are involved in their children's education.
Facts.
So for a lot of these people to have the most to say about this situation, it's very telling, because they're not even involved in their own kids' education.
So I'm gonna tell you something. I'm on ads. Be back in 45. Okay. Well, man, I'm about to say one thing that I see, and that I see a lot of my kids doing, that the parents is like, responsible for with that shit, and it's like, I hate it. It's the electronic shit, bro. I can't stand it. They sit these kids in front of a fucking a screen and don't want to be bothered.
And they have that funny. And I have that problem at my school. They think restorative justice is just giving them a fucking PC to play games on a computer.
Oh my God,
that sounds like you're rewarding them.
Right.
Why are you rewarding them with computer time after they just spat on the teacher?
Exactly.
Like, this motherfucker just spat on me and slapped the fuck out of somebody. You want to have this one on the computer for 15 minutes or for 30 minutes?
Yeah, that shit's wild.
Because guess what? They're gonna do that shit again tomorrow, because they know they're gonna get that computer time. And then they send their ass right back to the classroom and do the same shit for a third time.
Yeah, and I'm like, I got a story for this. I dealt with a kid who thought all he could do was play. He thought that every time was playtime. So I'm like, why is he like this? And I find out why he's like this. Because every time he sees a tablet, or every time he sees a computer, he socializes that shit with fucking playtime. Because guess what his parents did? They set his ass in front of that damn thing and was just like, here you go, and left him alone. So guess what? He thinks that every fucking time, dumb bitch, he sees that every fucking time, like, every time he sees an electronic, he socializes that with leisure time. So, like, when we're actually learning shit on the computer or the tablet, this little nigga flips out, because guess what? He can't do what he wants to do on a laptop, because guess what? That's all he knows. So now he's taking off his clothes, fucking screaming and crying, threatening to like blame the teachers that he's being abused, and like the security had to come in there and carry his ass out of there. It's like, when you sit your kid in front of these electronics without any sense of direction, oh, he didn't want no more. When you sit them in front of this shit and don't give them anything to do on there and let them like just be zombies in front of electronics, you set them up for fucking failure. They're only stimulated by what they're enjoying. And when you wonder why they can't focus in a normal school and you get brought to a school like ours and you want them to be normal again, quote unquote, no. We have to stimulate their minds to actually learn something. And usually when they get sent to us, when you parents fucking sign them up for this school, we are left to deal with it. You don't deal with shit because guess what? Your way of dealing with that shit is sticking them in front of a video game like Tekken 8 or like Fortnite, electronics. Fortnite. Yeah. Like, bro, I have a kid who's 17 years old who couldn't tell me shit about the world.
They not like us.
But he could tell me how much something is that's designer. He could tell me all the designer shit that. And I'm like, okay, you'll be great for retail, but what else do you know?
Right. And a lot of teachers have to figure out how to incorporate that into the curriculum, like how to use that type of knowledge and put it into the curriculum. Like, I don't think people really understand how hard that shit is.
Yeah, and then what I don't like that most parents do in our workspace is that they expect us to deal with everything. They don't answer their emails. They don't answer questions.
Yeah, they'll come to parent-teacher conferences.
Yeah, they don't help us. And it's like, don't you guys realize that this is your kid and that like this is a team effort between us to make sure your kid is doing better? No? Okay.
Y'all don't do nothing about kids bullying, but let your child touch somebody's hair or help somebody do their hair or some shit like that. Y'all got a fucking problem.
And it's like, dude, like, and another thing with these kids, kids really like to, like, you know, portray a different light, or they like to, like, blame people for their other situations, like, including other adults. So they go back and tell their parents this, and then you got the parents looking at us like we did something wrong. But it's like, no, you're not seeing how your child is acting. And it's like, it really bothers me. It bothers me. Because I've been in that predicament. I've had a kid try to lie on me. And it's like, if you was at school, or if you actually saw what your kid was doing, you would be singing a different fucking tune right now. But, because guess what? You're not there. You don't know what the fuck your kid's doing. And you're not trying to find out either. You're just trying to make sure we get our shit done, or trying to find the easy solution without fucking contributing to the solution. So it's like, what the fuck do you want us to do? What do you want us to do with your kid? Bro, we have kids. We have it to where as we send homework to these kids' houses and they come back and that shit's never done. And it's like, what the fuck is actually going on at home? Or what isn't going on at home? What's going on? And then the kid suffers the fucking most from it. I'm gonna beat this nigga's ass.
Okay, dude was busted. They had the guy number person. He texted him. I got a question. Say, you know what? Never mind.
No, say it.
I keep saying no matter how many ways I slice it, it's still gonna look bad. So
say it.
Like, cause even having your student's phone number.
Well, that's not a good look.
Yeah.
Unless it's their parents.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if the parent is okay with it, or if the parent's somehow involved in that whole communication system, that shouldn't be a problem.
They had the guy number personally. Wow. So he had that type of relationship.
No, I don't think they had his phone number. They had his Instagram.
They had his Instagram?
He has Instagram.
The fucking plot thickens, bro.
So it's just like, I wouldn't know, and I wouldn't. My thing, like I said, if the parents were more involved with the kids' education, a lot of this shit, y'all could just like, oh, that's like an uncle to them. They're doing better because of this.
What is he? You gonna fucking keep hitting my legs, bro? Bitch ass nigga. Come on. Fuck out of here, nigga. Anyway. Like, if that's the case, then they must be super cool.
Yeah, I had a couple kids have my art Instagram.
Yeah.
And they'll ask me for advice on shit.
Yeah.
And shit, there's nothing wrong with, you know, giving advice to your students. Especially if it means better in their life and making tough decisions because they feel like their parents wouldn't understand. I have to double check because he was reading on TikTok when they were DMing him. Yeah, it's Instagram.
What's up, Paul? Oh, he got me. I had to learn how to duck that.
My whole thing is a lot of people that have opinions on this shit need to have a little bit more like evolving experiences with being in the classroom, or being involved in a public school setting.
Yeah, because they're not.
And how hard it is to deal with dealing with 30, 40 kids at a time for 8 hours a day.
Yeah, they're not. Because guess what? We have to deal with kids, and y'all don't. Y'all fucking don't. Y'all just fucking pin them on us, and it's like.
And then people be like, "I got kid experience." Yeah, you got one child.
One child,
maybe 2 kids. So who are you to say that? Oh, you have kid experience, but have you sat in a room with 30 kids for 12 hours, teaching, and figuring out ways to help them continue to retain information? Damn.
Yes. That.
And once again, before people come in saying, "Well, what do I know?" I've been in this shit for 10 years.
And I've been in it for 2.
This shit ain't no walk in the park. Like, it's a lot of growing, a lot of understanding, a lot of boundary making. Hell, maybe maybe those girls wanted to learn how to do hair better, and they use their teacher hair. Like, what is so wrong about that? If fucking little Sally can fucking take down Miss McNally's hair, y'all wouldn't see that as a problem. I'm not questioning your morals. I went to jail. Job Copeland was a 35-year-old busted sleeping with a 15-year-old. Oh.
Yep.
Oh no, I'm not. Like I told Tech, I'm not like jabbing at you. I'm really in this shit. Not like, yeah.
Don't fucking
don't take it personal.
Oh, this fucking nigga. Okay. It's a high, bro. Come on. Stop fucking hitting my legs, nigga. Oh my god. No. No, man, it's like what I need people to do, especially parents, is get a little bit more passionate about spending more time with their kids, meaning spending quality time
because
with
it's
them.
starting to sound like they mad because the kids like that adult than they like their own people.
That too. Not fucking putting a phone in front of them, not putting a tablet in front of them, or telling them go play the fucking game. You know how hard it was for my mom to get me to not be on the fucking game?
They wanted us outside.
They wanted us outside. It was like, you not finna sit in here and play this fucking game
in
all
this
day.
stinking ass bedroom.
Yeah. They wanted us to get the fuck on and actually make friends, not be in front of a goddamn computer screen or like a device all day, man. And you know what's crazy? You want to know the crazy part about this shit? We have our principal, who has been in the school system for a very long time. But you know what she does? She caters to these kids constantly because it's the easiest thing to do. She runs from the problems. She runs from the fucking problem all the time. It's like instead of backing us up on disciplining this kid, you just gonna give them what the fuck they want, whether it's candy, tablet time, or like a walk in the park. And it's like
I'm gonna take it with me.
it's like, come on, man. It's like, what the fuck? It's like you're literally undoing everything that we just did, and it's a constant thing. It happens all the time. Happens all the time. But if we was to do something like that, if we was to do something like that, tell a kid like or give the kid like tablet and candy. Some teachers do, and they're not supposed to do that. We'd be under fire for that shit. It easily. Like, you supposed to be teaching these kids. How long I've been on this shit for? I don't even know, bro.
An hour, almost an hour. 51
hour.
minutes. Yeah, just 51 minutes.
What's going on, Trey? How you been? Staying safe? Staying snug?
All right, babe.
Bro. And you know how weird it is seeing these kids like out and about with normal life, and I have to tell myself like I'm not at school, so I really can't tell them what to do. That's the stance I take. Cause as long as you're not bothering anybody,
Right.
why the fuck do I have to talk to you? I wave and go on about my day. I wave and go on about my shit. Man, I don't know. I don't fucking know. And it constantly makes me think about whenever I end up being a dad, if it happens, what the fuck I'm gonna have to deal with. And you know what? I will say for some parents, you probably tired. You probably lack the energy to deal with your kid because you just got off the shift and you want to chill. So you take the easy way out and give them something to do or whatever the fuck. But to do that shit every day, might as well not have had a kid at that point. Am I right? If you take the easy way out all the time, you may as well not have had a kid. Dead ass. Think about it. Your kid is a sponge, essentially. They remember everything you do. They remember everything you didn't do, and they go based off that. That's how easily impressionable these kids are. But going back to that teacher, I think dude's a good dude. I honestly do. I just think he just got a little too comfortable in the setting he was in, and people saw that and took advantage of it. They saw it and took advantage of it, and this is why he doesn't have a job now, which is still fucked up.
Bitch ass nigga.
Well, man, it's like the fact that we have to act a certain way and be a certain way in public because eyes are watching and shit, and it looks weird. When are we gonna stop? When are we gonna stop? What's the word I'm looking for? When are we gonna stop upholding images? Like, really? When does that stop? Because it plays on part of the ego. Did he just go to the special controls?
Yep.
What we need to be, what I want to play though is Gigabash. I want to learn that game. Think I'm gonna have time to today?
Don't know.
But yeah, I just wanted to address this because it's not right. And I feel like a lot of people are saying that, like, they were against it because it looks a certain way. Looks as fuck this dude. It looks a certain way. It looks a fucking certain way, and it makes you look super fucking comfortable. Just sends the wrong picture. That's why I think that people, like most people, are saying that like it's unsafe because yes, your job will be had in a fucking public setting like that. Did he get you?
No.
I think it's just we got two folk in here. Oh, the cousin's in here. Why you ain't say nothing, cuz? He's probably just came in and did. But no, as far as the phone number shit goes, if that's true, that's probably just like
That's a bad look.
that is a bad look.
That's a bad look.
That's a bad look. You can't
Now we talk about those boundaries. I should have no connections with you outside the
right.
establishments.
That's true.
Inside the establishment, I am your number one fan. Outside of that, do not contact me unless it's some serious shit.
Which is why I said what I said. When I see my students or when I see a kid I know that goes to my school outside, I wave, I socialize a little bit, and that's it. I have no business talking to them other than just seeing how they doing, unless they're in trouble. But if I'm taking your phone number down or if I'm taking your social media down, that's the boundary there. That's like, that's a bad look. That's a bad fucking look. And like Bird said, I should have no connection with you outside of this work establishment. Seriously. And I'm pretty sure we grew up with kids having teachers' numbers and shit. Because, it's like their personal mentor or whatever. But, like, it's always been a bad look.
Unless your parents are involved in this whole thing and you got the numbers and all that shit.
Exactly. That's different.
Then we shouldn't be having this conversation.
If the parent isn't involved, there should be none of that. Because guess what? The parent finds out you are cooked. Meaning, you automatically look suspicious. I promise you, it will put a normal parent on edge. It would. Be like, why do you have your teacher's number? Why does your teacher have your number and not my number? There we go. A fucking conversation starter for that. You better have an answer, too. Dead ass. Dead fucking ass. You better have an answer. I am not questioning your morals. Yep. 35-year-old, but I don't get what makes people our age just be like, alright, I'm gonna fuck around with this teenager who's not even 18. I don't get it. I don't understand.
I wouldn't know what possessed a human being to even do that shit.
I think it's the horny.
But I do think people should stop defaulting to very negative things when it comes to a student-teacher's relationship. Like I said, if you're more involved with your kid's education, you will know that your teacher is there to only help evolve the child.
Yeah, that's it.
Nothing more. Because you have teachers that take kids home from school. You have kids that you have teachers that buy their students food and all that stuff. But we do that stuff. It's deemed as inappropriate.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out what's inappropriate about ensuring that your child get the most of their education and not get a phone call home because they acting a goddamn
It's
fool.
like you said. It's almost like the parents don't want you doing their job. But they're not doing their job.
But we helping you out. We doing our job. And if you feel like that we doing your job better than you, then take your kid out of school.
There's nothing wrong with homeschool.
But I gotta work. Well, let me do my job, ma'am. Or sir.
Right. We have your kids for about, 6 hours? 6, right?
Yep.
6.
If not 8, if you're
If
doing
not
after school
8.
programs.
Right, if not 8. So it's like, come on, man. It's a give and take relationship. It's a 50-50 relationship. Actually, let me see. Yeah, that's right. The kid is involved too, though.
Oh my God, you a bitch, bro. I crouched, but okay.
50-50-50. 150%. I don't know, though. Seeing the type of shit that kids get into and parents get into these days, it makes me scared to be a dad. It makes me scared to have a kid of my own. Cause the reality, the dark reality behind this shit is that not all parents are meant to be parents. Let me scoot over. Not all parents are meant to be parents. That's just the fact behind that. Not all parents are meant to be parents, and like they grow up or they spend a lot of time fucking lamenting about that fact. And it impacts the kid's life who didn't even ask to fucking be here. So, I don't know. Questions, comments, and concerns. It's been an hour. And I would just want to say, if you're not dealing with kids who don't even know what the term, don't even know what it means to have boundaries, in a place where you're like trying to teach them that, fine. But if you're in a spot, if you're in a school, or if you're in a, what's the word I'm looking for? If you're in a space where kids are normal and they're there to learn, leave all the personal stuff out of it. The only thing that should be worried about is academic prowess. What's up, cousin? I'm lurking. I think I'm about to go ahead and eat, bro. I'm probably about to finish up in a bit. An hour's tops. Yeah, nah, bro. It might be a hot minute before I have a child. Not dead ass. Like, if I have a child, like, mom has to be on board. I gotta be in it. And, like, the people around my kid have to be decent people. I will say one thing though, because I've been in the school, I've been in, like, school stuff like this. I definitely will be partnering up with my teachers to make sure my kid has the best damn education they can have going forward. I don't like how he gets that off for free sometimes. You can whiff and he can just, the range on that shit is silly. And it hurts so fucking much. Nice answer. He got you. But yeah, bro. Shit. If I need to make this a part 2, which I probably won't, I will. I'm gonna try to stream a little bit tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. It'll be more gameplay of this. Obviously. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Actually, I won't even be able to. I'll probably stream like during like the morning or something, but I have a tournament to go to tomorrow. I just remembered that shit. But yeah, I'll try to stream like once throughout the week before we get back around on Saturday, and yeah. Shit.
I fucking hate this guy.
Who, King? Yo, he's fucking annoying. It's either King or Fang. They both annoying. But yeah. Y'all have a good Saturday, man. Enjoy the weather. Take care. This is Ocean and Bird. Another session of the Brine.